everybody, welcome back to Coding Minds. Today we will be building a platformer, so let's go ahead and open up Scratch. We're going to make a new project. Name it Platformer. Delete the cat. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the player, so go ahead and name it Player. And you can make this your player any color. I'm making mine a cube, and it's going to be a blue turquoise color. So go to the square tool and let's zoom in some. Oh yeah, make sure that you don't have an outline. And I'm just going to use the line tool and make some eyes. Okay, let's get coding now. First, we're going to get a when green flag clicked. So let's talk about what we're going to do first. We need to code the movement first. So let's make two blocks. Name the first one walk with an input of steps. And make sure it's a run without screen refresh. And then the second one is going to be handle ground with a boolean of moving up. Make sure you run this without screen refresh. So let's start off with defining walk steps. So the first thing we're going to do with that is get a change x by, and then we're going to drag out the steps input, and we're going to make a few variables too to go with these blocks. The first one is going to be ground lift. For this sprite only. So we're going to, in this defined walk steps, we're going to set ground lift to 0. And then let's get a repeat until. And inside the repeat until, we're going to get a or and a not. And inside there, we're going to get a touching color. So then we're going to get an equals. And we're going to get in variables, get a ground lift, and put that in the left side of the equals block. And change this 50 to 8. And then we're going to drag that into the right side of the or. And then we're going to put this not in the left side. And put this touching color right here. Then drag this in here. So the touching color is going to be the color of our level. So let's go ahead and make our first level. Go to backdrop, paint one. I'm going to name this first one level 1. Go to the rectangle tool. Make it black. And then just do a big rectangle across the bottom. Then back in the code of the player, we're going to do touching color black. Inside of this repeat until, we're going to change y by 1 so that we're not constantly stuck in the ground, so that this player recognizes that ground is a thing, and then we're gonna do we're gonna get a change block and change ground lift by 1. Then we're gonna get an if then, put it in at the bottom, get an equals, change the 50 to an 8, get a ground lift. So if ground lift equals 8, then we're going to change x by -1. Wait, we need to get a multiplied by first. Change x by -1 times steps. And then we're going to change y by -8. So we're done with this define walk steps. Now let's define handle ground with a boolean of moving up. We're going to get a repeat until, and inside for here we're going to get a not and then a touch and color. We can just duplicate this, put it here, and then let's get an if else. And inside this we're going to get moving up for right here. So if moving up, then we're going to change y by -5, else we're going to change y by 1, and we're going to make another variable called in air for this sprite only, and we're going to set in air to 0. Now we're going to make another variable named y velocity. You can put VEL for that, for the sprite only. And we're going to set y velocity to 0. Now, under this when green flag clicked, we're going to switch backdrop to level 1. We're going to show our player. We're going to go to right. You can get a good spot for your player. I'm going to do right here. And then set rotation style left right. Set y velocity to 0. And then forever, we're going to change y velocity by -2. Then we're going to change y by y velocity. Then we're going to change in air by 1. Then let's get a handle ground block, and we're going to get a less than. Put 0 on this side, and put a y velocity on the other side. Good. So we can go ahead and test that out. It won't do anything yet because we don't have all of the code in. So let's go ahead and make the rest of the player code. Let's get another when green flag clicked. Let's go ahead and, since we're going to have obstacles and things in here, let's go to our player costumes and let's add a costume. Let's call this first one alive, and then this one dead. And all we need to do is make the second one red. There. So under this when green flag clicked, we're going to switch costume to alive. Then in a forever loop, we're going to say if key A pressed or key left arrow pressed, then we're going to get a walk -5. So this code will make it walk left. So now let's just duplicate this, switch it to D and right arrow, and then change this -5 to a 5. Okay, so now we're going to do the W key. So first we're going to do if key W pressed or key up arrow pressed. So let's go ahead and do that. Don't put that in yet because we're going to put that inside an AND. Go ahead and drop that in here. And on the right side of this AND, we're going to have a less than. And on the right side of that, we're going to have an 8. And we're going to get an in air. So if key up arrow pressed or key W pressed and in air is less than 8, then we're going to set Y velocity to 14. That will be the jumping code. Now we're going to do the switching levels part. Let's get another if, and then we're going to get an or and an and. Drop that in here. We're going to get an equals, and we're going to get an X position. So we're checking if the X position equals 235. And then let's get another X position and get it less than. So if 235 is less than X position, let's put this on this side of the OR and then drop this in the AND. On the left side of the AND, we're going to get a not, and we're going to get an equal. And so if not, backdrop name equals level 15. So let's talk about this line a little bit. We're on this side, we're saying if 235, which is the right side of the screen, right here, if we are there, it's going to switch levels, or if X position equals 235, if it's greater than 235, which it can't, that's just to make sure it doesn't get glitchy or stuff like that. If it gets greater than that or equal to 235, it's going to switch levels. So let's go ahead and put the code for that in here. We're just going to get a go to X -214 and Y -96. And this not backdrop name equals level 15. The not is backdrop name equals level 15 is I'm having 15 levels in this platformer, and for level 15, the last level, you don't want to be switching levels on the last level. It's just going to be like a wall around the whole thing, and you can't get out. It's the end, and you completed the platformer, so there's no more levels. So we're going to get a next backdrop that will switch the backdrop to the next level. So let's go ahead and make a few more levels. So for the second level, You can do whatever you want. Okay, for level 2, we're going to have this, and then we're going to have another black platform here. Make sure it's short enough that the player can jump over it. I forgot to mention this platformer will not have wall jumping, which will make it more challenging and more fun. We'll put this here. Let's just go ahead and make all of the levels just so we can get that out of the way and we can start coding. For level 3, we're going to start making our spikes. So to actually do a spike, you're going to get the rectangle tool, make it red. You can make it whatever color you want, but I would say red. Make a rectangle, select this, delete this point, select this. Well, actually, don't do that yet. Make this into a triangle shape. Let's rotate that. There. So let's make it a bigger triangle. Good. So let's rotate it a little. There. Now we move it down right in the center. There. For level 4, we are going to have 3 spikes. And we're going to spread them out. For level 5, we are going to have some platforms. We're going to have one right here. Make sure it's tall enough that the player can't jump over it. Then we're going to have one right here so that the player can jump onto this platform. Make sure this platform's wide enough so that we can put a spike on it. Let's copy this triangle. Let's paste it over here. Shrink it down a little. There. For level 6, let me look and see what I'm gonna do. For level 6, we're gonna introduce lava to the platformer. So let's go ahead and delete all this stuff. We're gonna make a red rectangle in the ground. Make sure it's a little off the ground so that if the player touches it, that they will die and that it's not in the ground so that the player can just go right over. And then for level 7, let's go ahead and get rid of this lava. We're going to make a lot of platforms for this level. So this is level 7. We're going to make a platform here. Make that a little taller. Then we're going to make a platform right here. And then another one right here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's copy this spike. Then let's paste it twice. We're going to make the first spike right here. And this second spike here. Let's make them a little lower. There. For level 8, we are going to have spikes and lava. So first we're gonna put 2 spikes on the edges, put them right here for now. Then let's duplicate this, copy and paste this lava. I'm gonna shrink them down a little. Delete this one and then just copy this one. Spread this out. Okay. For level 9, we are going to have spikes and platforms. Okay. So let's copy this spike. So we're gonna have 6 spikes, and then we're gonna have some platforms. The platforms, there will be 2 here and here. I'm just gonna copy this one. Okay. And we'll put a spike here and a spike here. Put a spike here, spike here, spike here, and here. For level 10, we're gonna make TNT. Making TNT is hard. It is a long process that will take a little bit, but we can do it. We're going to zoom in, and I actually looked up a video on YouTube of how to do it. And it was this one.
If a man really hated ads, here's what he would do. Day 1, he would install Pi on his computer without spending a
Here, pixels just like Scratch. See these pixels? So we're gonna make 8 of these actually. 5 by 3. So let's zoom in. 3 and 5. Then we're gonna copy, paste, paste, paste. And we're gonna put these spread out by 1. 1, 1, 1. Then we'll do the same for the top. The top will be 6 pixels apart. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There. Next, we're going to fill it in with orangish. This rectangle tool. I'm gonna make it slightly oranger. Put these right in between. And we're going to copy, paste, paste, paste again. put it here. Here. Then we're going to paste. Okay, then we're going to paste and paste. Okay. Then we're going to make the text TNT. The T is going to be a 3-pixel rectangle on the top and then a 3-pixel rectangle on the bottom. So we're going to make it black. And we're going to make it 3. And okay. Then for the N is kind of cool. It's going to be a rectangle 4 pixels down. It's going to have this sticking out. And then we're going to make another one right here. And then a big rectangle coming down. Then we're going to copy this T, make sure to group it, and then copy and paste. And we're going to put this one right here. Let's group these letters together. Group. There. So we're going to move this one over one and this one over. There. There's our TNT over here. Let's group it together. There. So now let's shrink it down just a tad and put it right here in the middle. There. For level 11, let me look, we're going to have 2 TNTs. Have one over here and one right here. For level 12, we're going to have 2 TNTs and a spike in the middle. I'm going to shrink that down and then move the TNT. So our player is going to jump over this, the TNT, then the spike, and then the TNT. Let's make level 13. Level 13 is going to have spikes, TNT, and then more spikes. So first let's make the platforms. And we're going to put one platform here. Make sure it's kind of short so we can put a spike there. There. Then we're going to make another platform here. This. So we're going to jump over that onto here. We're going to put TNT there. paste it. Let's shrink it. And then we're going to have more platforms. Here, here, here. They're going to be like steps. Then we're going to put a spike here and dynamite here. Then we're going to copy this dynamite and paste it right here. For the last level, we're going to have a big stairway. So we're going to have our first one, next one, next, and here. So let's go ahead and make those. Okay, now let's copy this dynamite, and we're gonna have dynamite, 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 dynamite. So 1, 2, 3, 3. Have one right here. Then we're gonna copy spike, and we're gonna paste it 3 times. For level 15, we're gonna not have any obstacles. Let's just select this, delete it. Instead, we're gonna have text. The first one is going to be black, and it's going to say, congratulations on completing the platform. And I'm going to add an emoji at the end. There. That's good. Then we're going to make another one. This one will be blue. You can make these text colors whatever you want. Oh, let's undo that. Let's make a new one. I'm gonna make my second one blue. Please like and heart. There. Now we are done. So for the player, let's code some more code for it. So the last thing we did for our player code was this. We're going to add on to that. We're going to have an if, and if touching color, let me switch it to a level with red. If touching color red, then switch costume to dead, and we're gonna broadcast explode. We'll work on the explosion later, but for now let's just broadcast explode. We're gonna wait 0.4 seconds. That's just so that we don't immediately go back to right here before we explode. We're going to go to the place we go, so that I can just duplicate this, get rid of that, and put that there. And then we're going to switch costume to alive. Now we're going to do if touching color. Let me switch it to a dynamite one. Oh yeah, we forgot one more thing for our dynamite. We have to make a black line right on the edge. Okay, so let's actually not put this if touching color here, because I was just gonna put that there. Because I was just gonna put that if touching color there, because we would have these black lines here on the edge of TNT. I would do that for airs, but I'm not actually gonna put these black lines here. Okay, so we can keep this if touching color. We're just gonna switch it to this red. Then we're going to switch costume to dead. Broadcast explode. Wait 0.4 seconds. You know, I could have just duplicated that. Switch costume to alive. Okay, so now let's work. Let's go ahead and test this out though. So you can see we have our level 2. If I touch it, we die. And then we go back. And this is too tall for me to jump over. So we have to go this way. Then we have this level. Then we have our TNT. I might need to shrink it down a little. You don't have to, I just probably will at the end of this video. Yeah, I'm gonna shrink down that TNT a little. Those are fine. These are fine. There. There. So this is a platformer. It is working. This last part of the video is optional. You don't have to do it, but I'm just gonna make it so my player explodes whenever the player touches something that would make it die. So explosion. So for the code, we're going to define an explode block. I'm gonna run without screen refresh. We're going to make it go to the player. Let's go ahead and make a costume for it. I'm gonna make mine a square that is blue. You can make yours whatever you want. I'm gonna make it 12 by 12. You can see the dimensions of it up here. It's 14, 13, now 12. Good. Okay, so after that we're going to repeat. Let's see. We're going to make sure you don't get a repeat until. We're going to get a repeat. We're going to pick random 50 to 60. We're going to set size to pick random 85 to 110. Then we're going to point in direction, pick random 0 to 360. Then we're going to make a variable called explosion power for the sprite only. We're going to set explosion power to pick random 10 to 30. Then we're going to create a clone of myself. Then we're going to, over here in the player code, we broadcasted explode, so we're gonna have when I receive explode, hide, explode. There. So now we're gonna have a when I start as clone code. When I start as clone, we're going to show, and then we're going to, so we're gonna make a type fire and dust. For the video I watched, the explosion had a fire type and a dust type. Delete this and make it for the sprite only. Let's hide these variables because they're kind of just getting in the way. Okay, next, let's go to costumes. We're gonna make this fire. I'm gonna make this dust and just make it a slightly different color. Okay, so in the when I start as clone, if we're gonna make a variable first called type for this sprite only. If type equals fire, then we are going to repeat until explosion power is less than 1. We're going to go to looks, change color effect by pick random, negative 0.1, and negative 1.25. Then we're going to set explosion power to explosion power times 0.82. Then we're going to move explosion power steps. We're going to change Y by 2. We're going to change brightness effect by negative 3. Let's duplicate that, and we're going to change ghost effect by 1.5. So let me look and find my other part of the explosion code. Okay, so we're going to turn clockwise, pick random, negative 20 to 20 degrees. We're going to change ghost effect by 20, and then we're going to change Y by 2, and then we're going to delete this code. So I think there is a part that I missed. I missed the if type equals dust. Let me look. I don't think we did. Nice, so we got everything. Okay. So you need to there is some code that I skipped. We're gonna need to go ahead and make that in here. There. Okay, we're going to switch costume to fire, and we're going to set type to fire. There. Then in here, we're going to switch costume to dust, and then we're going to set type to dust. There. Okay, so I'm just going to repeat this code for the if. Well, let's add an if statement around here. If type equals dust, then we're going to repeat. Let's see. Let's make sure we have all of this. Delete this clone. Let's test this out. It might not. Oh yeah, we need to hide this. Let's test it. Okay, so it is going really fast. think we should slow it down. So we're going to, well, I don't know if I will slow mine down. Let's look at it again. Explosions are quick, and so let's look and see what might be causing that. If we can't see, then we can't just leave it like this. Pick random 50 to 60. Okay, so we're going to repeat until explosion power is less than 1. That might be it. Let's say 2 and 2. Let's see what that does. Made it a little quicker. Let's just see if there's a noticeable difference if I put it at some huge number. Doesn't happen. So I think explosion power might be counting down. So if we make it 0.5, a little better. So okay, I think that's good. So I think that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching this platformer tutorial. If you would like to share this project, you can come up here, click share, and then fill out this. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe, and have a good day.